My brother-in-law died suddenly, and now my sister and her kids have to sell their home. That's why I told my husband we could not put off getting life insurance any longer. An agent offered us a 10-year, $500,000 policy for nearly $50 a month. Then we called SelectQuote. SelectQuote found us identical coverage for only $19 a month, a savings of $369 a year.
Whether you need a $500,000 policy or a $5 million policy, SelectQuote could save you more than 50% on term life insurance.
For your free quote, go to SelectQuote.com. SelectQuote.com. That's SelectQuote.com.
SelectQuote. We shop, you save. Full details on example policies at SelectQuote.com/commercials.
Hello, J360 Legion. How's it going? Welcome to another J360 Mini Bite hosted by J.M. Brady, and I am your host, J.M. Brady. Oh, man. You know, it's been a crazy summer so far for me. You know, sometimes I get behind on things, sometimes I get a little too ahead of myself on other things, and then there are moments where the internet cuts out, so I'm not able to produce this stuff live. Then you try to record the stuff, and then there's times where the software doesn't want to work. Now, at various different moments have these things occurred, especially when you're trying to record a 10th episode of a mini bite, which somebody doesn't want you to record because circumstances happen, because this would be the third time trying to do this. Yeah, that one we had, you know, it was gone. But, you know, that's production for you. But hey, guys, I'm just going to be real about it. Social media sometimes... Have you ever had that moment where you just think that, you know, social media is such instead of a help, it can be a hindrance? You know what I'm saying? I guess because there's too many people that use it and they don't have the mental clout or the responsibility of how to use it, so they use it for all the wrong reasons, such as to, like, you know, ignite, like, very fiery disputes over nothing. You know what I mean? Start more problems out of nowhere. Or like, say if somebody makes a nuanced point, but they don't really see the point and completely miss everything and then just go on tangents out of here, there, anywhere. I mean, and it got to the point where it's not even just on the internet. It's gotten to the point where it starts affecting things in real life too. It's one of those moments where I just look at Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, just about all of them. I'm like, you know, to hell with you all. Sometimes I look at that and I'm like, yeah, this has got to stop. This isn't right. It should be a lot different than what it is. And it's gotten to that point where it's just like, I'm tired of it. Like, now you got to go ahead, you got to pretty much put on the false face in order to do some internet work, in addition to putting on the false face at like your 9-to-5 job. Now, for those of you that don't know what the false face is, either you're in that inner circle or basically you have no idea how some people are just, you know, coaxing through life. But the thing about it is this. I'm getting tired of the internet censorship. I'm getting tired of the hypocrisy on the internet. Like, this one chick, you know, what's her name? She started that Bully Hunter campaign, and because it blew up in her face, and she tried so hard to try to sway it away from her. You know what I'm saying? She's one of those people that can't handle criticism. So I'm not going to go ahead and say her name because really doesn't mean anything to me other than, like, you know, she's part of the problem. But she went on this whole tangent on E3 about girls being objective and you know, using sex to sell, which at the end of the day, y'all need to come off it, because everybody and every single conglomerate out there uses sex to sell. I don't care what you say. It got so crazy, like, even when you look at Mortal Kombat, like, I was playing Mortal Kombat 9 the other day, and I saw the stripperific outfits that Kitana and all the other girls were wearing, and then I look over at Mortal Kombat 11, because of the, quote, controversy that surrounded that. You're working on Mortal Kombat. Mortal Kombat is one of the most goriest games ever made. I mean, they were so, kind of like how Dead or Alive was all about, you know, booby physics and everything. Only one thing. There's no gore in Dead or Alive. Plenty of it in Mortal Kombat. Like, all bets are off when you look at these franchises. But going back into it, though, they try to censor and mess that up. Now, I don't know what the end game is for some of these people, but I realize They don't want to be controlled by people, yet at the same time they're in relationships where they often are controlled by somebody else. They don't want to be subjugated or proven wrong, even though 9 times out of 10 they are proven wrong. And the subject thing, see the relationship point I pointed out earlier, it's like at the end of the day, it's just a cluster where they need to just be in a corner and fight themselves. Like if you just put a mirror in front of them, I guarantee they'll go crazy. But going back to my nuanced point here with the E3, she's on there talking about how this is not the way it's supposed to be. It's 2019, yada, 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 all that lying. And she's wearing pants that you can see through to see pretty much her underwear and a bralette. So who the hell is she kidding? At the end of the day, it's just such a stupid thing. I'll never understand it. And then like when you're trying to tell a joke, you're trying to do some comedy here. Oh yeah, because people can't take a damn joke anymore. Oh, that's the worst thing, right? So then you got to sit there and be like, hey, yeah, I'm going to go look for the joke that's politically correct for everybody. Yeah, the politically correct joke. I think Hey Arnold made an episode about this one time where Helga was pretty much doing stand-up. And like, she was funny. Her act was funny, but then some of the people in the audience realized she was making fun of them, so they got offended. And she decided to change up the routine to please them. But guess what? As she went back on stage, it wasn't good. It was nowhere near as good as her first 2 routines. And then Arnold of all people, the most low-key character on there, came up and told her, your act's not good because it's not funny. Nothing about this is funny. And so what Helga did was, she decided not to please anybody anymore. She said, F that, did her own thing. And all of a sudden the laughs came back and everything else. That's what comedy's all about. You're supposed to be making fun of all things that are wrong in the world. That's why you make jokes. You punch up when you make a joke, though. You don't punch down. You don't go after somebody who pretty much at the lowest of the low or any of those other things. You punch up. Go after the social elitism that's around here. But because some of these people, like I said before, the internet can make and break you as a star, and some of these people are, quote, stars nowadays, but they didn't master the number one thing, that not everybody will like you. And being as not everybody will like you, they're slowly but surely coming on to this event, which is why I see, like, people, like, say, like, some of the plus-size models on my Instagram. Like, yeah, I like looking at them, so don't get bent out of shape. Jay's a chubby chaser. Well, Jay's a big man and needs something to hold on to. So, yeah, let's work with that a little bit. By the way, if it dinged or triggered any of you, you're welcome. What I'm going to say is this, okay? Some of them on there, they keep saying the same old thing, the same stuff. But at the same time, you realize that they're making money and they're showing off the goods. I mean, like, not saying like the goods, like, you know, they're not showing off the goods, but they're showing off that, you know, their body is healthy and they're happy about it and they like all that. That's great. And then they're going to tell you the sob story on the next post. Then they'll tell you an uplifting story on the post after that. And then it's the same story. And keep in mind, I'm a writer, so I know, like, when the story changes and there's some embellishments going on here, there, everywhere, you know, for a little bit of seasoning. So as I see some of this stuff, I'm like, okay, I know your story. I see where this is coming from. Okay, are you still trying to inspire people, or at the same time, did you find some of those people over at Walt Disney Pictures to actually put together the TV movie of your life? Because at this point, it sucks. The whole third act appeal here sucks. Think about it. Like, if you ever sit there and look at somebody's content, you know, after a while, you'll start being like, oh, I see what this is. I see what this is. Brand influencing is great, but on the other end of the spectrum, there's nothing here to feel sorry for. And then if you see the one person that calls the other person out on that, then they start to get offended and start to try to shut them down and all that kind of stuff. That's not how it works. The open board of communication is that you're going to have people out there who don't like you, who don't care for what you say, and don't care for what you're all about. That's just the way it is. But it, like, you know, same thing for how I do these shows and all this commentary I bring up. I don't expect everybody to 100% like me, but I expect to keep on going and keep making content and to keep growing my brand so that, you know, I can go ahead and make a living off of doing what I love to do. And at the same time, I'm not giving you a boring origin story about it. I mean, it's an obvious thing that, you know, like 100%, I just keep doing what I got to do. But as it comes for recommended bull, I mean, at the end of the day, I'm not going to give you a podcast recommendation outside of my own podcasts too. And then I see like these people claiming and quoting for recommendations. They're not even real people. I can look right at them and be like, oh yeah, you're a bot. Yeah, this doesn't make any sense. Not going to fool with it. No. If you're somebody that legitimately wanted to talk with me about the shows or anything, got the hotline, got the email, got all the connections right here. You just got to make that move. And if you haven't done it, I mean, once again, I'm not looking out or looking back for you to try to catch up. You're either there or you're not. And then, like, see, this lady here, she goes on this hypocrisy. Then other people start following in on that hypocrisy. Usually it's people that have never gotten with somebody in their life. A lot of dateless, lonely people are about this. Keep in mind, they're out there and they're always trying to latch on to somebody. Oh yeah, I'm all about this agenda. Yeah, did you realize that this agenda is all about ball busting and not necessarily providing unity? Oh, no, I didn't know that at all. Forget you, your mom. Oh, yeah, talking about my mom. Yeah, that's nice. What do you think I said that you haven't said? You know what I'm saying? Little things like that get them all messed up on the inside. At the end of the day, you got to understand, right? It's just stuff on the internet. But when you start looking and seeing how it affects people in real life, it's like one way or another. It's like, you need to log off. Oh, and by the way, make sure you do that for a change, people in the J360 Legion, because, sometimes you just need a refresh. You need to have some perspective. So log off and turn the stuff off while you can, because, if you start following an agenda blindly, and you start going ahead and not asking questions, or this person that you ask questions to get offended, like within the first 5 to 10 seconds of you asking, something is not all together there. So, yeah, a little bit of advice on that. Because social media can be a real hindrance sometimes. Even if I record this mini-bite, which I am, and even if I air this mini-bite live, which once again I am, it's the same principle. I don't care for unjust censorship. You got to think about what the person done, and if there was really a crime here, and then you start providing a resolution. Like I said, shoot from the hip is not helping nobody. You know what I'm saying? But then you got all these social media networks that are slowly but surely moving the goalposts every time because they don't want to listen to reason. Only thing they see right now is advertisers pulling out or advertisers coming in. And then that's the milk money right there. And milk money goes away. Oh, no, we got to do something about this. Oh, this isn't right. Oh, shut that down. It's just stupid. And you got people like me and you who are able to make this independent or any sort of these affiliation markets, and then they go ahead and try to censor us with a whole lot of stuff. Now, we're not going to damage the brand by speaking out and saying that, hey, we don't agree with some of the rhetoric that flows around here, but that's kind of the point. You don't have to agree with everything. Like, on one hand, I see how feminism is, but I also see how they're not really about equality like they say they are. They go ahead and they keep chiming it out, but when there's something that's really, really equal, that benefits everybody, not just the people they like, benefits everybody, then that's true equality. But if it's something that casts other people out, benefits who they like, there's a form of bias in there, and not only that, it's a malformed monster that is about special treatment that doesn't necessarily serve everybody. See, that's not equality. See what I'm saying? Know what the hell these terms are when you use them. Because one way or another, see, I try to provide content for any and everybody. I don't care who you are. You know what I'm saying? If I enlightened you or if I entertain you in some way, then it was a fair trade-off because I don't mind making these shows. But after a while, you see how it affects the community around you, and then you realize that there's a lot of good people out there who are left aside, who are falling in the cracks, who are probably in a situation they can't get out of on their own, but it doesn't hurt to help them a little bit and just say, you know what, if you know what you want, you're going to have to work hard for it, and you're going to have to be there about it every day, then you can do something about it. It's like trying to be a screenwriter, where at the same time, if you're running around looking at people like, how do I write this, instead of just writing something, then you're not doing the screenwriting job right. The right job for a writing job is to write. Just like if you're animating, just like any sort of industry that you want to be a part of, that you want to put change in, you need to see exactly what it's about beforehand. But, that's my whole thing on censorship when it comes to feminism. But when it comes to, like, all sorts of other things, I mean, the world is screwed up. And it seems like social media, to a point, has added on to that. But these things are tools. Now, you're probably looking at me saying, Jay, you should be about marketing and all that stuff. I am. That's why I have the social medias. And to keep in contact with a lot of y'all out there. But at the same time, it's all on how you use it. And I just can't stand the bull. But hey, we'll dig into it deeper on the J-Man episode. Until then, this is J-Man signing off. Y'all take it easy, okay? Peace.
Lucky Land Casino, asking people, what's the weirdest place you've gotten lucky?
Lucky? In line at the deli, I guess?
Aha, in my dentist's office. More than once, actually.
Do I have to say?
Yes, you do.
In the car before my kids' PTA meeting.
Really?
Yes.
Excuse me, what's the weirdest place you've gotten lucky?
I never win and tell.
Well, there you have it. You can get lucky anywhere, playing at LuckyLandSlots.com. Play for free right now. Are you feeling lucky? No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18+. Terms and conditions apply. See website for details.